good afternoon, good evening, that type of thing. 4:21, you're a minute late. Sorry, missed out. Headed back north and all that stuff because, yeah, I went to hook up the toilet. Yeah, the anchor bolts I have, they'll screw into the thing, but they won't fit in right? And they can't, there's just, yeah. So I gotta do it a little bit differently, and then what I'll do is I'll leave those ones there in the vanity. And then the hoses I got for the sink still were the wrong fucking hoses. And I'm just really, fucking burned out. I've been dealing with a lot of shit, a lot of stress. And of course, I couldn't get a fucking thing done that I needed to get done this weekend. Yeah, I got the sink mostly pretty much done, but I still got to get the right hoses for that fucking thing, and then get it, like, actually attached to the vanity. And then the toilet, like I said, I got to get the proper anchor bolts. I went ahead and grabbed the ones that I got that I had hoped would work, even though they were too long. And with the way the owner built the place, the original one, there's no room to get through the flange from the bottom side up, so I have to basically just go get a regular set of nuts and bolts, basically. And so by taking the one anchor, I can go up, put it in this little plaque looking piece of wood that has all these different, like, screw and bolt patterns and nut patterns and all that stuff for the threads, and I can get the right size and all that shit. And then, yeah, I'm just so fucking burned out right now with everything, and I've got to be done with all this shit by next week and by Saturday. I wasn't able to get anything out of the house like I needed to, any more stuff. Just dealing with bullshit on the side of trying to deal with that, and trying to keep up with this time frame and all this shit with the sale of the house, and I just can't keep up with all this bullshit. I've had this week since like Monday, last Monday, I've had maybe 12 hours of sleep. It's way too much. I'm just so fucking burned out, and I don't even know what to say or do anymore where that person's concerned, other than all I can do is wait for them to decide when they're actually ready to, like, actually step up instead of finding excuses. Like, I still remember a conversation her dad and I had shortly after her and I first got together back in high school. And we had this conversation about crutches. And it's like, could you imagine hurting somebody that fucking badly and then expecting them to feel sorry for you because of some traumas that you went through as a child? And you want them to set aside the trauma that you put them through and the trauma that they had to go through in their life when they've already done that to be with you? But no, you just went through and abused them in every way that you possibly could, that you went through with your own bullshit. Because everything that kept coming out their mouth was, oh, but my childhood and this, that, and that. You know, if I sat around and used my childhood traumas, does that give me the excuse to treat people like shit and fucking cheat on them and throw them the fuck away and go around to my friends and family and talk shit about them behind their back and all this crap? No, that's a fucking childish fucking excuse. I understand you went through shit and you gotta fucking deal with it and you've gotta fucking face it, you know, that stuff, and learn to fucking, like, heal from it or cope from it. But that does not give you a fucking green card to dismiss and excuse your fucking bullshit on how you treated somebody currently. I mean, this is some really fucking stupid shit. Could any man out there, any of you women watching this, could any of you take your husband serious if he was to actively be pursuing other fucking women behind your back online, sleeps with one, and then turns around and tells you, I'm sorry I made these bad decisions because I had childhood trauma? Because my dad fucking, you know, wasn't being really a dad. I was stuck being his wife or husband or whatever it is, or he was neglecting it, and mom was just doing her own thing. I was being neglected, you know, so that totally excuses me to overlook the fucking trauma and abuse I put you through. I'm sorry, you know, please feel sorry for me because I abused you, and now I'm going to use my childhood as the justification. I could sympathize with that shit if it didn't involve them hurting me or anybody else. It's like, you know what, I'm sorry you had to deal with that stuff. And I genuinely am. Nobody deserves to have to go through what she did when she was growing up. I didn't have to go through what I did with her to finally realize that she needs to deal with her shit and grow the fuck up when it comes to that part in her life. She's still an immature child when it comes to fucking dealing with this type of shit and how to take accountability for it. Because I have not yet once heard anything come out of her mouth of actually taking genuine accountability. It's all that was coming out was, well, you know, it's my parents' fault, and because of that, I developed this sick fucking habit of cheating. Yeah, your mom played a big part in it. Currently, it wasn't your childhood. It was the fact that you were sitting there getting upset because you're wanting your mom's approval and you can't seem to get it. So you start doing really fucked up things. No, that wasn't your childhood. That was more or less the current. And all of them, I know some of them are watching. I know my kids are watching this shit too. I know they are. There's no excuse for this shit. Whether it pisses you guys off or not to hear the fucking truth, nobody deserves to get treated this fucking way. Nobody. And then to have to listen to the person that fucking does all this really fucked up shit to you, then tries to explain to you that the reason why they did it is because they were neglected as a child.